Hi, this is Hot Rod doing a long overdue review of the Alternity Nissan Fairlady Z Gunmetal Grey Megatron. I did do a review of this a while ago and it didn't work out too well. I lost some footage because my camera acted up, so I've had a hold of it since. I'm surprised Jay hasn't come kicking down my door for it. But here it is, so I'm getting it out of the way now. As I said, long overdue. The Fairlady is what Prowl was in Generation 1. This has a couple of the kind of same stylings as you can see. It's got the kind of longer nose at the back, the high end here with the slanted rear screen. The car is really nice. There's an awful lot of metal in it, so it's very, very heavy. The overall kind of finish to it is kind of a glossy but brushed sort of steel. It reflects light very well, very nicely indeed. The actual finish is really nice. This gunmetal grey finish is gorgeous. As far as the actual quality of the plastic is, it's really nice. It's not really any different to I don't think it's any different to really alternators, but you'll find that when you do get this, it's very weighty, especially in here. This is where a lot of the metal is up this end. This all kind of becomes the torso and such. The tyres are rubber. It's got silver trims. Front headlights are clear with a Nissan logo. The grille part here is kind of black. And then on the rear we've got clear rear headlights, another Nissan logo, small stop light down there and another stop light there. The windows are transparent. They're clear. There's nothing there's no colouring or anything. And that's really it. On the underside it's very black. As you can see, there's his swords. What I do like, I don't really kind of get Alternity because I don't know where it's supposed to fit necessarily. It's not quite alternators, not quite Binaltech, not quite whatever. The robot ends up being about the same size as the Deluxe from the Universe line. But I do like the design overall on this guy. The robot's very well hidden. I mean, you wouldn't really know it's there, I don't think. Obviously there is detailing on the inside when you open, if you manage to get the door open without breaking anything. There is detailing on the inside. You can see the dashboard there. And on this side you'll actually see the steering wheel. And what a really nice touch is that these side mirrors are actually reflective, like really reflective, not a sticker or anything. It's proper reflective. It's basically a mirror. So that's really it. The car itself is very, very nice. I really like this, but I like Fairladies anyway. I don't know what that says about me. And it is a really, really nice toy. Very, very cool indeed. We'll put him into robot mode so you can check him out that way. Okay, so here's your gunmetal grey Alternity Megatron. I do kind of prefer this over Convoy. Convoy didn't seem like he really belonged anywhere, but kind of Alternity Megatron kind of does. He doesn't look like Megatron, that's the only thing. I do really like this mold over the other one, but he doesn't look like Megatron. He seems more like Bludgeon or maybe Megaplex or something like that, but he's not. There's not an awful lot of kind of. Putting him in gunmetal grey doesn't make it any closer to the fact that Megatron was a gun. The head mold doesn't look like Megatron at all. Bring that forward so you can try and see it there. I mean, it's kind of, his mouth is sort of layered in joints. I don't know what they were trying to achieve with it. It is very Japanesey, kind of almost like samurai armor or something like that. But I do like the mold overall, and you probably could get away with using this guy in your Universe line. I mean, just for sake of comparison, I mean, there he is next to Smokescreen. Okay, albeit this guy is somewhere between that design and movie design, but you could probably get away with using this guy in there. The colour scheme doesn't really change, except there's a lot more black involved overall. He does come with a couple of little, not necessarily hidden features, but some features nonetheless. He does have these kind of wrist gauntlet blades, which just snap out like that or fold out. And he's got two of them, one on either arm. Now they're stored. This is actually the back of the driver's seat, or the passenger seat. The other one is the driver's seat, and they can be stored away. Posability wise, you can get a lot of posability out of him, but because there's so much metal up here, he's very top heavy. So I actually had trouble just kind of trying to put him in a pose where he would stay solid, where I didn't have to put my hands on him to do the review, to kind of keep him upright, which is a real shame, because in this day and age we shouldn't really be kind of going through these sorts of problems. We didn't have them with Binaltech and alternators. Speaking of which, seeing as this is sort of a kind of a transgression from alternators, I've got my alternator Ravage here, so you can get an idea of where we've come from and where we're going to. So Jay wanted me to find out one thing from him, because he hadn't actually opened one of these yet. He wanted to know if the swords could be stored as they were in the pictures, and they can. There's tiny little pegs in his hips where you can clip the swords in, which I think is pretty bitchin', and he comes with 2 of them. And they can be positioned in, because they're on pegs, you can kind of put them in any angle you sort of want. You can give them kind of dynamic looking sort of posability in them. They do clip out, and they do slot into either hand, but they literally just slip in like that. There's nothing pegging them in place, there's nothing to keep them solid. So they are kind of, you know, there's a lot of floppiness going on, you know. Which is kind of, it's a shame, I guess. You can see there the legs are sliding apart. There are a few posability issues that I have with this guy. See, he's not going to hold his balance now. I've toyed with him too much, and I'd be worried that after you spend so much money on this figure that he falls over and breaks. That's an honest opinion on it. The legs are not the greatest. They don't support the body terribly well. All the kind of support is at the front, and all the weight of the metal is at the back of the robot. So I mean, you don't really get good support off the legs, which is what they're there for. It really is a kind of a shame. The arms you do get some movement off of. They are restricted because of the panels of the doors here, which they're kind of accordion. They slide out in panels to kind of give another worldly sort of effect. The waist doesn't turn, unfortunately. And this area here, which is supposed to represent what we know and love of Megatron's sort of abdomen, it's a kind of a tooth arch like that, but when you clip it in, lining it up is a pain in the ass first of all. And then when you do clip it in, it doesn't stay in. I've got it in there, but the slightest kind of... Oh look, when it's on, there you go, see? It just pops in and out, which is a real shame, a real shame. Especially when the overall plastic and quality is very good. Also, the head is on a ball joint to a degree, so you can kind of get away with it. The only thing is that because the engine block is on the back and it's a big flat platform, it does restrict head movement a little. But overall, I can't really complain about the guy. I think he's, you know, well, I can. Posability in this day and age really shouldn't be this bad, you know, and he should be very well supported. Unfortunately, he's not. And really, we made these mistakes with other toys. We shouldn't be making them with these toys now. But overall, would I recommend him? I'd recommend him to myself. I very much like him. I'm considering buying one. Would I recommend it to anyone else? It's really up to your own personal choice. If you get frustrated easily by poor posability or bad kind of balance, then you will lose the head with this guy, because there's nothing to keep him upright. If you do like alternators and you're sad that they stopped, you want to move on to the next one, go ahead and buy the guy. I think he is good. I like the look of him. The transformation isn't that hard. It's very simple. Some of the toys in the universe are more complicated. So yeah, if you really like the guy, go ahead and buy him. He won't be for everyone. The Alternity line will not be for everyone as a whole, from what I've experienced of it. All 2 figures that we've got, and 1100 bleeding repaints. But of the 2, I prefer him over Convoy. That's me. I better get this guy ready to rock, because he's going back to Jay's tonight. So I will be reviewing more stuff soon, and I'll speak to you then. Bye.
You don't have to be crazy to do that, but it sure helps.